This is Parenthesis, back with another review for an episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars 2008 TV series. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, but if you don't know how this works, I do not review every episode. I just review those episodes that I think left the most impact on me, whether it's negative, positive, or something else. If your episode is not reviewed and you really wanted to, just leave your suggestion in the comments below and I'll definitely do it eventually. So today I am reviewing Season 1, Episode 11 of the Clone Wars show. It's called Dooku Captured. Now, basically, how this episode starts out is Anakin has been captured by Dooku, and Obi-Wan is basically going to save him. And what I have to say is right from the very beginning, just to see Obi-Wan in this space, sort of not Star Warsy, but this human-like, Earth-like space suit is just, I don't know, it's hilarious to me. Like, it looks really goofy. It just doesn't look Star Warsy, it looks more our worldy, and I don't really think it fits here. But what I have to say after that is when Obi-Wan is sneaking on the ship to try and free Anakin from his prison cell, the thing is that Obi-Wan is dressed instead of his Jedi robes, which he usually wears in both Attack of the Clones, The Phantom Menace, and Revenge of the Sith. He wears this very sort of warlike armor. I really don't like that. I have a serious issue with that because I really do enjoy seeing Obi-Wan in the Jedi robes. And even in battle, we see in Revenge of the Sith that he's wearing those robes always, which is a very cool thing for his character. And by sort of giving him a new design, I think they kind of a bit messed up the continuity, and I just really don't like his armor here. I think the face looks okay, not perfect at all, but it's believable enough that I understand it's Obi-Wan. And I like the voice actor, James Arnold Taylor, plus I'm subscribed to him, his channel is great, go check it out. I will even link it in the description below. But basically, just the Obi-Wan's character here, like him escaping from the droids, and after that, his character is really comedic, and I would say he's overly comedic. In the movies, Obi-Wan was also kind of a bit of a pranker, but he wasn't to that degree. He was still somewhat you related to him because he didn't joke around always. Here he's just the master of jokes, and every second he's just goofing off, which I really didn't like. Now, there are lots of negatives, however there are lots of positives to this episode too. They just come in a little bit later. So after that, basically he frees Anakin. And here is one of the positives. I really like the similarity to the scene in Revenge of the Sith, where when Anakin jumps into the sort of the lift, Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber and then he's like, "Oh, it's you." And here it's Anakin who is like, "Oh, it's you." And it's immediately followed by a terrible line by Obi-Wan.
"This is how you thank me for rescuing you? Pounce on me from the ceiling?"
I like the interaction between Obi-Wan and Anakin, but I like them more in the movies than here. Plus here I'm okay with Matt Lanter. Overall he does a good Anakin, but I hate it when he gets angry, which does happen in this episode, but right now he is very good. So I'm willing to give him a pass on this one. So basically, while this battle occurs, and of course it's great seeing the Republic and Separatist ships again, Dooku basically is sitting in meditation when Obi-Wan and Anakin come in. And Obi-Wan and Anakin try to arrest him, and Dooku is like sitting, and he says this very, very like comedic yet very good line.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, I thought I sensed an unpleasant disturbance in the Force.
And after that, what basically happens is Dooku basically when the Jedi are about to capture him, he says, "You Jedi fools!" And he activates this button, and then the floor underneath him opens, and he goes into this sort of aqua park style like tube, like on a ride, and that's just. Oh my god, that's really cartoony. I really don't like this thing where you just press the button and you fall under just to escape. That really isn't Star Warsy and serious enough. And I really find this to be too like, I'm like watching it and I'm like, and but basically Dooku escapes, and there's a chase scene between Anakin and Dooku in this aqua park like tube, which eventually ends up with Dooku flying away on his ship. However, the Jedi taking a separatist ship and basically going after him in this chase scene, which to me isn't really thrilling, however is interesting enough, and I like that it's the vulture droids are once again featured. That's a very cool thing because I like them. And but eventually Dooku gets hit and basically crash lands on the planet Vancor, which is like the Gondork planet, and Obi-Wan and Anakin go after him. And what basically happens is they land, they see that he's trying to call for help, and they deactivate his tracking beacon, and then they basically go exploring like Obi-Wan did in Attack of the Clones on Geonosis. They eventually end up in a cave and are caught basically by surprise with this enormous rocks falling on them. We then learned that it was Dooku who actually used the Force to make the rock fall onto them. And I think that was a very good idea. That was a pretty nice reveal in the episode, although little, it's still great. And eventually he takes Skywalker's lightsaber along with his own, so he has two in his belt, and goes away crashing the cave. And then Obi-Wan is just a bastard. Like, seriously, he's such a bastard in this next scene. Like, Anakin is like, "Master!" And Obi-Wan answers like, "Anakin, when I tell you to run, that means run." Like, that really isn't Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is caring for Anakin. He is kind of strict to him, but not to the extent where it's like a death-threatening situation. And this seemed just for Obi-Wan to be too evil and sort of too strict, to just be angry on Anakin for him just trying to save Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan says like run, and Obi-Wan says after that, like, "When I tell you to run, run." That's just. But basically, they have this not really comedic dialogue where Anakin is like that the lightsaber has been hit by a rock or something and that it's disappeared, and they basically make their way out of the cave. However, they are confronted by a Gondork. Gondork is, of course, the creature that was first mentioned in Empire Strikes Back by Han Solo.
How you feeling, kid? Don't look so bad to me. Heck, you look strong enough to pull ears off a Gundar. Thanks to you.
And also in Attack of the Clones.
I haven't felt you this tense since we fell into that nest of gun dogs.
You fell into that nightmare, Master, and I rescued you, remember?